Hi there, I'm Rainbow Marshall. I'm a teenage artist, author, and advocate, along with so many other things on the autism spectrum. I love to let colors and creating stuff along with making art guide me through life. And I also love the things I'm learning and knowing that I have to respect them in life, such as wildlife, plants, being out in nature, and of course, my latest obsession, reading books. I am deeply in love with the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and the stories of Greek myths and folklore. And I can really connect with them as a person, knowing that they give me so much inspiration.
Can you please share how did you discover your passion for art and writing?
Well, art and writing, along with the magic of storytelling, has always been a part of my life. And of course, I did get my artistic skill from my dad. And when I was young, I have always loved making art and drawing cute little stories of my own, even based off on the stories I have heard and seen. But I've always wondered to myself, has anyone ever made a story about people like me? And so I decided to make my own stories. And of course, there were moments that big publishers didn't accept my stories due to adultism and lack of open mindedness. But the thing is, I am not giving up so easily, and me and my mom are knocking on the doors really hard, showing what we're capable of, mostly what I'm capable of, and knowing that I can be included in a vast, diverse universe with people like me.
Can you please tell us how has autism inspired your creativity?
Well, the thing with autism is that, yeah, I can be a bit of an oddball sometimes, but I deeply admire being an oddball. And throughout my life, I have been oppressed for who I am and have been forced to be ladylike and more human. And of course, I used to go through a major anxiety crisis for a few years, thinking that if I acted more ladylike and human, I would be accepted. But then I realized that I was hurting myself by not accepting for who I am. And the way how autism has majorly influenced my life is learning from my struggles, challenges, and the heartbreaks I have been through, and just fully embracing what life has to offer, even though I may feel afraid, depressed, too lazy, and completely bored sometimes. But I am very grateful that I have teachers and mostly good friends and family members that'll push me out of my comfort zone, but not in the forceful way, in the very good way. And I'm very happy that I'm accepted for who I am. And I gotta say thank you so much for my parents for creating me.
Can you please share why is Web3 a source of learning and growth?
The reason why it's been such a source of learning and growth for me is because of my wonderful nosy mom always knocking down doors. And 2 years ago, she opened up an account for me, and Web3 has been very, 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 very supportive and respectful, along with being very welcoming towards me. And I have been given various opportunities to exhibit my art, and I still have amazing art projects that I'm planning on publishing and creating on my iPad. And I'm just so grateful that I'm part of a digital community, that I get to make friends with people and also share our thoughts and information and really connect with one another and share our ideas for the world and express ourselves for who we are instead of pretending to be something we're not.
Can you tell us what is audacity in your own words?
Oh my gosh. Audacity. I mean, literally, so much empowerment, daring attitude, and opportunities for women by women across the world expressing themselves for who they are. And I mean, Wow, it's just so amazing. I mean, back then, many years ago, events like these never happened. But nowadays they are, and women deserve to rule the world. Men have had their share. I mean, bye bye, boys. Women are gonna take their own stand. I mean, bam, they're knocking down doors.
Can you share important and meaningful individuals in Web3 that have brought you wonderful experiences or discoveries and tell us why?
Well, there is Flower Girls with Varvara Arai, Nika Yani, Anna Skates, who I see her as my godmama, Women in Tech Museum, and Moon Mars Museum. The reason why I treasure these people so dearly in my heart is because they have given me wonderful opportunities and exposing my art to the whole world and the rest of the entire unknown universe, which is very amazing and welcoming, and I really appreciate that. And I'm just so happy that I'm being exposed and regaining a lot of help from very supportive and respectful people that I owe a lot to. And I I'm just so happy to call them part of my chosen family, and I gotta say thank you so much, you guys.
Now, I've been told that you have donated art before. Why do you do that?
Well, I really do love doing donations and charity for good causes, such as Troglodyte Society in Sierra Leone for the stopping the kidnapping and the rape that goes on with girls of all types, young and old, and Save the Rhinos, which I made a beautiful piece of art as part of a good cause to help an endangered species from going extinct. And of course, Sebastian Alonso, which I made a beautiful piece of art for his new album cover, which he does beautiful songs and amazing singing and music for his album, that he expresses his life through autism and how he is reviving his soul from the pain. And I just gotta say that whenever I have the opportunity to do donations and charity work that help the world and other people in need, I feel very good of myself. And even though I am given a lot of opportunities, and even though I can sometimes be a little bit spoiled, that doesn't mean I don't have responsibility and empathy for others, and I am always looking forward to do things for good causes and to help make this world a better place one step at a time.
As a teen and artist who has opportunities, discoveries, good experiences, but you also have a fair share of challenges and difficulties in society, in school. What would you share with youth at your age who may be facing similar situations?
I just gotta say that youth nowadays, even back then many years ago, have always faced challenges with adultism, pressure from peers, family, and friends, even other adults, and so many other challenges, even discrimination for who they are, what they look like, where they come from, and how they personally identify themselves. I just gotta say, do not let that crap get all over you. And even though the world is gonna turn you down just for being you and for you being yourself, it's not fair, and you gotta take a stand for what's right. And of course, there are gonna be some people who will never support and respect you, but there are gonna be others who will. And you don't need to get praise and attention from everybody. Just look for the praise and attention by those who give you unconditional support, respect, and care. And of course, even in your own school systems, you may never receive support, just like how I did when I was given the lack of education. And I was interviewed by a reporter, who she is really nice, on the Nashville scene, and the story of me and my mom battling the unfair realities in my school system is very important. And I just gotta say thank you to the Nashville scene for supporting and letting my story be heard. And I just gotta say that youth also need to take a stand for themselves, and they cannot let any adult or other person or the entire world go down against them, and they just gotta take a rise. The harder you fall, the higher you are gonna fly.
Could you tell us how art and literature and Web3 can help promote understanding and acceptance of individuals with disabilities, abilities, and different diagnoses?
Well, what I can say is that when it comes to struggling, whether it's based off on your diagnosis, special needs, or disability, and many other factors in life, you just have to find what inspires you and create something wonderful, whether it's a song, soundtrack, or a piece of music, a book, or a piece of art. Even graffiti can help express how you truly feel and who you are as a human being instead of letting yourself be labelized. And what has really helped me express myself and go up against the cruel reality of society is showing my spiritual strength as an artist on the autism spectrum, and not letting and learning not to let society run all over me, and also advocating for myself and helping others advocate for themselves. It just has to take one tiny whisper to become a giant voice that will be heard and stretched across the entire world. All great voices start with a whisper.
Now, can you share about your hopes and aspirations for the future?
Hey, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and all y'all streaming services. I am literally making art and stories for people of all skin colors, hair textures, genders, personal identifications of all types from all across the world in various different ways into amazing stories that have to be heard no matter what the age or personality may be, whether it's from near or far, all over the world. Please, you gotta make my stories into wonderful movies or series that'll be known for generations. And it's important that I have partnership with you because I can help give out amazing suggestions and ideas of who can be included for these stories, because I want all types of people to be included instead of just one certain specific group. And yeah, it's important that young kids, especially if they're watching channels like PBS Kids and or other services with their families, should learn about diversity and inclusion of all types, even though it's not going to be the same, but that's okay. And it's important that we also express our flaws, and being flawless is just a myth. And yeah, let's bring inclusion and equity, people. What are we waiting for? Let's go! And another thing I would like to mention is that when I continue to grow up as a person for who I am, I really want my stories to be exposed more, and I really want to be a part among the giants who give us so many inspiration. And I not only do I want to walk among big people who have a lot of fame and inspiration for the world, but I also want to help give inspiration to all types of people, and also want to let them know that their voices can be heard and understood over time. And that's what's important, that diversity matters instead of staying on one topic. My mom also says that since I love to express myself and demand for inclusion and diversity, including equity, I should be my very own politician. And I agree with her. I mean, yeah, she is very right on that part. And of course, for my future, I want to have my own petition to say these people of all types deserve to have rights to be included. And also, I want to go places and travel a lot to spread my voice. And number 3, to have the chance for my dad to live with me, so we won't have to be far away from each other, and that we need each other so much. and I love him, and I gotta thank him for giving me my artistic creative skill. And yeah, I'm gonna be going places one day, people. See ya. Oh, and one more thing. Nathania and Stephanie from Awedacity, you girls just rule so much, and thank you so much for the Awedacity you've thrown into my life. You bring so much value into our lives.